Hello, Nikolai.
Hello,
How are you today?
I'm fine. And you?
Excellent. So, how is the weather where you are?
Oh, it's minus uh, degrees. Oh, no, not degrees. Uh,
That's right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Minus
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 40.
4 degrees. 4 degrees below zero.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
don't know how
So
to
you
say it correct.
you
Minus
said
four
it correctly.
minus 4 degrees
That was great.
or 4 degrees below zero.
Yeah. 4 degrees below.
Oh, okay.
Yep. 4 degrees below. So, yeah, it's pretty cold, huh? You must be in Russia.
It's beginning. Uh, one month later it will be 30 degrees below
Oh, soon.
soon.
Yes. It's true. It gets cold. Where are you in Russia?
uh, Алтайский край, Барнаул city.
Oh, okay. Whoa, who's that? Let's say hello. We also have Victoria. Hi, Victoria.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fine.
Excellent. And we have Mad Hatter CSA. Hello, Mad Hatter.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Hi, thank you.
What should I call you?
John,
Hat?
please.
HAT?
So let me type it.
Okay. Hi, John.
Yes.
Oh, okay. John. John. I see. So your name was Mad Hatter, but you changed it to John. Is that it, right?
Yes. Matt is my email address. So change it.
Oh, cool. I thought you were a fan of Alice in Wonderland.
Actually, a big fan.
Really? Yeah. Have you read the book?
Yes. And then two movie.
Yes. A lot of good Alice in Wonderland movies. The books are quite good, though. Yep. Through the Looking Glass, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Very good books. And people think they're a children's book. Do you?
But I think it's okay for adults.
I think so too. I mean, they're considered a children's book, but I think that the writer was quite good. He was quite a good writer. I forget his name, but he was a mathematician. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. A mathematician who writes fiction books. Very cool. All right. So, John, Victoria, Nikolai, nice to have you all here. My name's Brian, and today we're going to be studying this. All right, Victoria, can you see my screen?
Yes, I see.
E- Excellent. So what are we going to study today, Victoria?
Adverbs of degree with verbs.
That's right. This is an intermediate grammar lesson, and these are our goals for today. So let's go ahead and get started. And John, can you read our goals for us, please?
Yes. Learn what adverbs of degree are. Learn how to use adverbs of degree with verbs. Practice using adverbs of degree.
Great. And please repeat adverbs.
Adverbs.
Yes, very good. Any questions so far about what our goals are for today?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. All right, let's keep going then. And Nikolai, can you please read this example?
The train to the airport was very late. I nearly missed my flight.
Very good. So very and nearly are two of those. So here's our preview and warm up. Nikolai, can you please continue reading this slide?
In this lesson, you are going to learn how to use adverbs of degree with verbs. Adverbs of degree describe the intensity of a verb they are modifying. I am definitely applying for a new job.
Great. So what's the adverb of degree there?
Definitely.
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 Right.
Oh, sorry.
Good, good. Okay,
Definitely.
so let's start off learning some of the most common ones. Today we're going to look at very, we're going to look at a bit, a little, we're going to look at just, almost, and nearly. So we'll start off with very. And Victoria, can you read this slide to us, please?
Okay. Very is one of the most common adverbs of degree. It adds intensity. It comes before the adjective or adverb it describes. The plane is very late. It is very hot in here. The bed in the hotel is very comfortable. She spoke very quickly. My boss is a very nice person.
Great. And Victoria, when you say the V sound, make sure to put your top teeth on your bottom lip like this. V, okay? Very,
Um,
v, very.
very,
Yeah, there you
very.
go. Okay, good. So yeah, very is very common. It comes before the adjective or adverb. A bit and a little bit. Victoria, can you please continue reading?
A bit and a little both mean a small amount. They come after the main verb they are describing or before the adjective or adverb. A bit. It would help a bit if we had a map. It would help a little if we had a map. You should try to sleep a bit. You should try to sleep a little. Do you want to practice a bit? Do you want to practice a little? I'm a bit nervous about my job interview. I'm a little nervous about my job interview.
Great. Please repeat. Bit,
Bit,
little,
little,
little bit,
little bit,
a little bit.
little, little bit.
All right, great. So that's the short I sound. I. All right. And you'll want to maybe go on the internet and try to find a video on YouTube about something. I'm going to type in the chat for you, okay? Look for something called American English short vowel sounds. Just type that into the search box on YouTube and you should find a lot of videos about those types of sounds, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, great. John, can I hear you please say
Yes,
bit,
bit,
little?
little.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, and on to the next, a bit and a little. John, can you read these examples?
Yes. When might you be a little nervous? What activities and tasks make you a bit tired? What sorts of situations could cause you to be a little worried while at work? What would you do if you were a bit bored of your job?
Right. Very good. So what would make you a little nervous, John?
Talk to my boss.
Talking to your boss. Great. What activities and tasks make you a bit tired, Victoria?
A little bit tired. Okay. I don't know. Search. Looking for the new clients. Makes me a bit tired.
Looking for new clients, not the new, but looking for new clients makes me a bit tired. Very good. Nikolai, what sorts of situations could cause you to be a little worried while at work?
Um, then amount of tasks growing and growing.
Having too many tasks. All right. And Nikolai, what would you do if you were a bit bored of your job?
I'm trying to switch my mind to another good things, memories, trying to relax and then come back again and do my job.
Oh, I would try to relax. Okay, very good. And Nikolai, can you please continue reading to us about just, almost, and nearly?
Just means very soon, now, or recently. It comes before the adjective or adverb it is describing. Almost and nearly mean not completely but close. They come before the adjective, verb, or adverb they are describing. I just eaten. I have just eaten. Almost nearly. I am almost ready. Alice just left. I'll tell her you called. I nearly told her about the event. I just rang the restaurant to book a table. She nearly missed her colleague's presentation at the conference. I was just leaving. I have almost finished writing that report.
Great. Can you say presentation?
Presentation.
Good. All right. Any questions so far on just, almost, and nearly?
No.
No? Okay. Nikolai, what did you just do?
Um, right now, morning, and I have just eaten.
Oh, what did you have?
um, I don't know how to say. It's a Russian pies called bilishi. Yeah, meat
Are they,
inside.
are they delicious?
Yeah, it's
Ah, very good. All right. And Victoria, what have you nearly done?
Um, I nearly I nearly done my um, previous work project.
I've nearly finished.
Uh, I've nearly finished my work project.
All right. Very good. And John, can you read this slide, please?
Yes. Just. What have you just done? Either during a lesson or before a lesson. For example, have you just eaten? Have you just made some notes?
Yeah. Something other than eaten, though. So what have you just done?
Uh, I just finished some task because I live abroad for 2 weeks.
Ah, are you having a good time?
Yes, in Boston. Good. Very enjoy that.
You're in Boston?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So what do you think of the temperature in Boston right now?
Uh, Cold.
Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah, it's pretty cold tonight in this part of the world. I am right near you, actually. I'm from Rhode Island, so just east of where, well, just south. Yeah, just south of where you are. Okay, cool. So you just finished some tasks. Can you say tasks?
Tasks.
Good. All right. Is there a task at work that you have almost completed? So you said you were working on some tasks. Have you almost completed all of them?
Nearly, but not finished.
Nearly. Very good. Okay. Victoria, is there something you have been working on that is nearly finished?
Um, Actually, I don't have something that nearly finished. um, okay. Um, I nearly finished my I nearly finished read my book.
Great. I have nearly finished
Uh,
reading my book. All right. Which book are you reading?
it's a book about graphic design.
Oh, interesting. Are you a computer person?
Yes, I'm a web designer, so it's interesting for me.
All right. So think about your career path. Is there anything you almost did in design?
Uh, Almost Could you repeat, please?
Yeah. Is there anything you have almost done or anything you almost did in design?
Oh, yes. I'm actually I um I just begin my new career. It's my new career. But yes, um, uh, I done some tasks already.
Great. Okay. Right. So I just began a new job, but I have already done some tasks. Very good. Nikolai, did you nearly accept a job, but then changed your mind?
Mm, Except the job. It's about task or it's about company.
Could be either of them, I guess.
Uh, mm, I leave my current job uh, about two days ago, and next 2 weeks I will apply to a new job, new company.
All right. Good for you. You're courageous. Why did you leave your job?
um, because it's too hard. Actually I have both of them at the same time, and my workload grow was grown on the both, and I have to choose one of them.
Okay. So your boss offered you two different jobs?
Uh, I have two different jobs and two different bosses, and one job is a main job, and second job is a remote job, not official. Uh, and then second job, boss told me, come, uh, uh, told me that he uh, want to call me for full time in our city.
Ah, so he told you that he wanted you full time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And Nikolai, have you almost moved abroad for a job before?
Once again, please.
Have you almost moved abroad for a job before?
What is abroad?
It means to another country.
Oh, no. It's in the
No?
same country.
All right. John, have you ever almost moved abroad for a job?
No, this is my first job, so I just stay in my country.
Okay. How about you, Victoria?
No, I um, I have never moved abroad for a job.
You have never moved abroad. Would you like to move abroad?
Um, I don't think so. No,
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Russia, from
You
Siberia.
from Siberia. What's the temperature there?
Um, I don't know, but I suppose that it's maybe about 5 degrees under uh, zero.
5 degrees below zero.
Oh, below zero, yes.
Oh, so it's going to get a lot colder, right?
Yes, yes. But
Yeah.
actually, for this period of time in Siberia, it's a pretty warm weather. It should be colder, actually, for this period of time. But now uh, we all happy that it's so warm. And yes, it's warm for Siberia.
Right. For Siberian people, it's warm.
Yes.
-5 is warm, huh? Goes to show it gets very cold in Siberia, I think. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've spent some time in Moskva, so I know how cold it gets. -30, I think. Does that sound right? Is that right, my Russian students? -30 degrees in Moscow in the winter? Something like that. I think so. All right, so let's move on to the fill in the gaps with one of the adverbs below. Number 1, let's stick with Victoria.
Fill in the gaps with one of the adverbs below. She felt ill because it was I don't think. Okay. She felt ill because it was very hot in the meeting room.
Great. Number 2, Nikolai.
I'll go for lunch with you in 5 minutes. I've just finished writing this email.
Okay, great. And John, number 3.
Why don't you try being a bit more organized?
Who, me? John, am I at work? Oh, okay.
Hello?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Why
Okay.
don't you try being a bit more organized?
I told you I am organized, John.
Oh, sorry, because of kind
It
of.
was a joke. Okay, number 4. Number 4, Victoria.
I can go for lunch now. I've almost finished the task, or I've just finished the task I was working on.
All right, very good. Any questions so far, anyone?
No.
No,
Oh, it's clear.
No? Okay. Can anyone make a sentence about this man in the picture?
He just he almost he almost finished to eat his pizza.
Almost finished eating his pizza. That's
Eating,
right.
eating.
Okay. Very good. And on to undoubtedly and definitely. John, can you read this to us, please?
yes, undoubtedly and definitely both mean you are sure about something. They are come before the word they are describing. He undoubtedly messed up the project. He definitely messed up the project. She will undoubtedly arrive late to the meeting. She will definitely arrive late to the meeting. After hearing the sales pitch, they will undoubtedly buy the product. After hearing the sales pitch, they will definitely buy the product.
Okay, great. Can you please repeat? Undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly,
Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly.
undoubtedly,
Right. So the stress goes undoubtedly.
undoubtedly,
Good. And can you say definitely?
definitely,
Great. Victoria, please repeat. Undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly,
Definitely.
definitely.
Great. Victoria, what will you undoubtedly do?
Um, I, okay. Uh, I undoubtedly, mm, okay. I undoubtedly did a very tasty soup.
Okay, so maybe you could say, the soup I made is undoubtedly very tasty.
Okay, the soup I made is undoubtedly tasty. Yes.
John, would you like to have some of Victoria's tasty soup? Nikolai, how about you?
Sure.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I would definitely like to try some of Victoria's tasty Russian soup. What flavor is your soup, Victoria?
Flavor?
Yes.
Uh, you mean how it smells? Flavor.
Sure. It's
Ah,
taste, the kinds of ingredients, the
ah.
kind of taste.
It's a soup. Oh, it's hard to explain. It's a soup. It's not Russian soup actually. It's a cheese soup. Soup with cheese. I don't know how to call it.
It's
Uh,
definitely not borscht, is it?
yes, absolutely, definitely.
Definitely not borscht. Okay, very good. Um, would you say that borscht is undoubtedly a favorite soup in Russia, John?
Yes.
Yes. Nikolai, do you agree? Is borscht undoubtedly a favorite soup in Russia?
Um, it doesn't matter for me, but I guess so.
Yes. It's quite interesting. Good stuff. We don't really eat much borscht in the United States, but it's pretty good actually. All right, so let's keep going. We're on to undoubtedly and definitely. Name something that you undoubtedly good at, Nikolai.
Name something that you are undoubtedly good at. Um, I I undoubtedly very good at IT.
John, what are you definitely not going to do next week?
Uh, Go abroad again.
You're going to go abroad? Where are you going?
Oh, oh, sorry. I won't. I thought you were saying not going. Sorry.
Okay, so what are you definitely not going to do next week? You said I'm definitely not going abroad?
Yes.
Okay, now I understand. Very good. Victoria, what are you definitely not going to do next week?
Um, I definitely not going to do um to definitely not going to go swimming next week.
Probably a very, undoubtedly, that's a good idea. Undoubtedly a good idea. Barely, hardly, and scarcely. Victoria, can you please keep reading to us?
Okay, barely, hardly, and uh, scarcely,
Scarcely.
scarcely. All mean a small amount. They come before the word they are describing. You've barely done any work today. You've hardly done any work today. You've scarcely done any work today. I barely had enough time to finish the project. I hardly had enough time to finish the project. I scarcely, I scarcely had enough time to finish the project. We barely prepared for our trip to the trade fair. We hardly prepared for our trip to the trade fair. We scarcely prepared for our trip to the trade fair.
Great. So your pronunciation has been really good today, Victoria. But on the word scarcely, that one is scarcely. So
Ah, okay.
there's an extra S in there. That's what's messing you up on that one. Scarcely.
Okay, I see. Scarcely. Scarcely.
Good. Good.
Okay.
Nikolai, please repeat scarcely.
Scarcely.
Sounds good. John, scarcely.
Scarcely.
All right. Good. Barely, hardly, and scarcely. Complete the sentences with your own ideas. John, I hardly ever go to.
Gym.
Great. Nikolai, I barely notice when.
Um, mm, what does it mean, notice?
Notice means to observe or to be aware of something, to see something.
When I don't want to see something.
Not necessarily that you don't want to see it, but to notice literally means to observe. Let's give Victoria a try, then we'll come back, okay? So
Okay.
Victoria, you barely notice when?
I barely noticed when. Could you please repeat the meaning of the notice in this structure?
Okay. You know what I could do? Hold on one second, okay, everyone? Let me just take a second. It's kind of I get to get you guys up on the screen and see you for a second anyway. I can't see your screens usually. Let me pull up a screen that will show you what I'm talking about. Just give me 1 second. Oh, there it is. Okay. This is a really good website I am about to show you for finding definitions in kind of a different way. So usually when you're looking for a definition, you probably just look it in the dictionary and it tells you the definition and maybe gives you an example. But this website, which I'm about to show you, is good for finding synonyms. Victoria, do you know what a synonym is? Synonym? Okay, Victoria, can you see the screen?
Okay, I see. Actually,
So
I
you
know.
see notice, right?
Yes, I know meaning of the word notice, but I can't imagine how I can use it with barely. I barely notice when.
Okay. Let me see. Hold on a second, and I will give you an example. Oh, hold on a second. I gotta go back here now. There it is. Okay. So, all right. So, Victoria, you said you live in Siberia, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, in the winter, it snows a lot in Siberia. Is that right?
Yes, of course.
So, you might say, you know, it snows so much in Siberia that I barely notice when it begins snowing or stops snowing.
I barely notice when. Could you repeat this, please?
Sure. I barely notice when it starts snowing in Siberia.
Okay, it means that it's it doesn't matter for me, something like that.
Something like that. Okay, and Victoria, why don't you do the scarcely one too?
I scarcely remember remember name of my first school teacher.
Okay. Let's keep going with extremely and completely. John, can you read this to us, please?
Yes. Extremely means very much. Completely means in every way or as much as possible. They come before the word they are describing. I'm extremely tired. I'm completely exhausted. She works extremely efficiently. They completely rearranged the hotel room. He's extremely persuasive. She completely took over the project. She's extremely good at her job. I stood completely still.
Okay, great. Could you all please just hold on one second? I have to adjust something. I'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere, okay?
Sure.
All right, I'm back. Thank you for holding, and let's continue. So, any questions on extremely and completely?
No?
Nothing? Okay. Victoria, please repeat. Extremely,
Extremely.
completely.
Completely.
Very good. All right, let's keep going. Number 1, Nikolai, can you ask John that question, please?
John, are you completely satisfied with your current or most recent job?
Okay. A little bit satisfied with my current job. Because this is my first job, and I think there's still a lot of room for me to improve my ability.
Very good. John, can you ask Victoria number 2, please?
Sure. Victoria, have you ever organized a company event or business trip completely alone? If yes, why? If no, would you ever like to do this?
No, I have never organized some business event or business trip completely alone, and no, I don't know to try. I don't know. I don't want to try to do this alone because it's very hard.
Hey, great answer. Right. And Victoria, can you ask Nikolai number 3?
What kind of things do you find extremely stressful?
Um, it's it's very stressful or extremely stressful for me to make any hard decision. Um, for example, a couple of weeks ago, it was really hard to decide to stay in Altaiский Krai or move out to St. Petersburg for me.
So
What
what
came,
did you choose?
I choose to move out because if I didn't try, I will think about it all my life.
and what did you like about St. Petersburg?
I not clearly hear you.
What did you like about St. Petersburg?
Because I want to move out because it's one of my new job conditions, full time in St. Petersburg.
Hmm. And is St. Petersburg an extremely interesting city?
I think yes, because it's cultural capital of our country.
Hmm. Okay, very cool. Fill in the gaps with the words on the right. Number 1, Nikolai.
Um, I am feeling okay. You've uh, touched your foot. What does it mean? Touched.
To touch means to eat.
Oh, uh, are you feeling okay? You've uh, hardly touched your foot.
Excellent. Excellent. Number 2, John.
When she came back from the conference, she was completely exhausted and she slept for 2 whole days.
Nice. Victoria, 3.
I will definitely have the report finished by the Friday, I promise.
Report.
Report.
Great. All right. Number 4, Victoria again.
The journey uh, was extremely tiring. We drove on bad roads the whole way.
Bad.
Extremely,
Yeah.
it can be extremely or completely.
Extremely.
Extremely, yes.
Yeah. And number 5, John.
I can hardly remember my first year at the university.
You must have drank a lot of beer. All right, on to the next. Now this is a writing exercise. Usually we don't have a lot of time for writing, but because everyone has performed very well today in our lesson, we will. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Imagine you've just come back from a business trip in London, and the journey back home was terrible. Means very bad. Write a letter to your friend describing your journey home. Right? So you want to think about what happened. Well, what kind of bad things happened? Were there delays, cancellations, bad food? Did they lose your luggage? What happened? Use lots of details and use as many of these adverbs as degree as we've talked about today in class as you possibly can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to write, which is really nice because usually we don't have that much time. So you have a full 10 minutes. And if you finish early, of course, we'll just start going over what you wrote. Now, if you can, please try to type everything in the chat at the end, okay? So don't type one sentence at a time because then it will be Nikolai one sentence, John one sentence, Victoria
It
one
will be
sentence.
chat.
Right, it would be a very weird letter. So everyone just, type somewhere else and then wait before you send it into the chat. And at the end, we will go over all of them and try to edit them to make sure that you have used the words correctly. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so does everyone understand what you're going to do?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't sure that I understood it. So we have to write one one stroke of text, and then we should send it in chat, and then one more, and I.
Okay, yeah, no, actually just the opposite. You want to wait until you have written your entire letter and then send it into the chat.
Okay, so I have to continue the previous text.
No, you're going to write your own letter, as it says here. You know what? Maybe it's better if we just read the instructions again. So, Victoria, could you just read this whole slide to me, please?
I don't hear you clear.
Okay. Could you please read this slide to me? Could you read the whole page? Imagine you have.
Imagine you have just come back from the business trip in London. The journey back home was terrible. Write a letter to your friend describing your journey home. Think about what happened on the journey. Were there delays or cancellations? Did you almost miss your flight? Use lots of colorful details. Use as many adverbs of degree as you can.
Okay. So, do you completely understand now?
I understand this, but I don't understand how. Okay, we have to write whole the text and then send it, or how?
Yeah, you could write the whole text and then send it.
Okay.
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 So I'm going to give you now about 5 minutes to write. And during that time, I'm going to turn off my camera and I'm going to turn off my audio because I don't want to disturb you and I don't want to answer any questions while you're writing, okay? So if you have any questions, don't worry, just wait until everyone is done writing, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so you have 5 minutes to write, and I will be right here. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. And I will see you back in 5 minutes, so start writing. Okay, thank you.
Да, иди где-нибудь там поговори в зале.
All right, let's see how everyone did. Just 1 second, let me get this turned up. All right. Okay. All right, can everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Very good. All right, so let's look at Nikolai first. Nikolai wrote.
I copy that in chat.
Oh, you copied it again. Okay.
Mhm.
So let me go back to the first one then, which would be, all right, so John says, first, my luggage was a little overweight. Good. I have to pay 60 pounds for it. Should that be have to or had to?
Had to, sorry, had
Had
to.
to. It's okay. You're here to make mistakes. That's how you're going to learn. It's okay. Second, my flight was extremely delayed. Okay, yeah. What does that mean, extremely delayed?
Uh, late for 3 hours.
Right. Okay. So delayed by many hours or delayed for a long time. Good. I could barely transfer on time. Excellent. All right. Finally, there were kids who were completely losing control. So that one is a little more complicated. All right. So please repeat after me, John. Finally, there were kids who were completely losing control.
There were kids who were completely losing control.
Yes. Good. Um, I could hardly take a
I
breath.
could, yes.
Yes. So everything was very good in terms of the adverbs of degree that you were using. It was just some of the past tense verbs, right? So whenever we're telling a story or what we call a narrative, you're trying to tell somebody what happened in the past, most of the time you're going to use things called narrative tenses. It means tenses in the past tense of some form. Okay, very good, John. Excellent. And we're going to come back to you in a minute, Nikolai, but let me get to Victoria first. Victoria, you said it started very bad because the company booked our tickets at the last moment. Okay, can you say that? At the last moment.
At the last moment.
Yeah. And we hardly had time to catch the train.
Okay.
Can you say that?
We hardly had time to catch the train.
Excellent. The hotel was far from the place where we had to work.
Yes, it's a extra word.
Yeah, so using articles a, an, and the can be quite challenging. But if you keep practicing, you'll get better at it. Don't worry about it. Okay? And you said, and definitely very cheap. But what do you mean by very cheap? Do you mean that the price was very cheap? Or do you mean that the quality of the hotel was very cheap?
I mean, I meant that we don't know how much it cost, but the quality was so bad, so we decided that it is very cheap. It had a very cheap price.
Great. Okay, so it could mean both things. But if you don't know what the price is, you have to assume it means that the quality was low. It was a low quality hotel, maybe 1-star, 2-star hotel, right? Okay,
Yes.
so we were completely exhausted after our trip. Very good, Victoria. Once again, great use of the adverbs. And then finally, let's get on to Nikolai. Nikolai said, I had just come back from my business trip in London. It was really bad, really good. I hardly forgot my documents. Should we say hardly or something else?
Mm,
How about almost?
ah, I think
Okay.
I cannot use it because it's absent on the slide.
You could say,
Ah,
I hardly remembered to bring my documents.
mm-hmm,
Okay. Or I almost left my documents in the hotel.
mm-hmm.
And I remembered it when I got to the taxi. I came back and took them, right? Okay, because we're talking about documents with
Plural.
plural.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Okay. I was very nervous, because I thought that I definitely missed my plane,
Missed. Past tense.
right? And I arrived at the airport a little bit before registration ending. What is the word we use for registration?
Then people with tickets registered to the race.
Yeah, the word we use for that is check-in.
Check-in.
I arrived at the
Okay.
Yeah, check-in. Okay. I almost forgot my documents. I hardly remembered to bring my documents is one way you could say this. Either if you're not going to say I hardly remembered, you'd have to say I almost left my documents. Like that. Very good, everyone. So it sounds good. So let's go back to our goals for today and see how we did very quickly. Our goals were to learn what adverbs of degree are. Did we do that, Nikolai?
Yeah.
John, did we learn how to use adverbs of degree with verbs? Yes, we did. And Victoria, did we practice using adverbs of degree?
Yes.
Yes, we did. So good job, everyone. Keep in mind that there is some extra homework at the end of this if you want to do a little extra homework on this, but I think that you did quite a good job, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Try to go back to the writing corrections I just made and make sure that you practice those things. Are there any questions for me before we finish today?
No.
No. No
Thank
questions.
you.
Okay, all right, everyone. Stay warm in the cold weather, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Have a wonderful evening or day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the lesson.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
see you next time.